This next question is from Matthew Shelver in North Prairie, Wisconsin. North Prairie, that sounds so beautiful. What an evocative sounding place. What exactly does your creative process entail? Do the ideas simply come to you, or do you employ a systematic brainstorming process of some kind? There's a kind of tautology in the first clause, which is why I had to think a lot about your question. What exactly does your creative process entail? I don't think there is an exactly in creative processes, and I'm not even sure what a creative process is. I know I do it, but of course it's an art and not a science, and because of that you can't really be too specific, even if you want to, about how it all works. The imagination is a mysterious faculty of mind, and we don't know enough about the brain, we don't know enough about the mind, and we don't know enough about the imagination to sort of be that, to be able to talk about it in the same way that we can talk about the pancreas or the kidneys. Do the ideas simply come to you? Some do. Less come to you, you simply find them. Your great ally is your curiosity and your nosiness, and your acuteness of perception, and be a little bit of a dreamer and look in other places and just sort of, you can't make them come in, but just sort of stay receptive. And it's surprising how tiny, inconsequential things can, if you look at them in the right way, be extraordinarily, compellingly interesting. Is that an idea that comes to you? I'm not sure, but this is sort of where some of the seeds that will coagulate and form a novel are found. You get going, and then you need to be more systematic. I'm not really a believer in the muse. I'm not really a believer in sitting around and feeling inspired. When I was in my 20s, maybe I had the time, but I've got kids, I've got the school run, I've got supermarkets, I've got bills, I've got business things to think of. I don't have that much time. I can't sit around and wait to feel inspired. So once I know what I'm working on, then I guess it's the time to get systematic about it. I have systematic days, and then I have more effortless days, I suppose. When you get stuck, get systematic. How do you get systematic? You're usually stuck because you don't know your characters well enough. That's usually it. Or because you're being a little bit dishonest with yourself about needing to keep this beautiful thing in that somehow, there's nothing wrong with it, but it doesn't fit in the novel. So you sort of have to get to know your novel better. What's it really about? What's it really for? Why would someone other than your mum want to actually read this stuff? What's it for? Be sometimes painfully honest with yourself about that. But once you've ejected the extraneous stuff that's holding you up, you won't miss it, I promise you. And get to know your characters better. Simply, this might be a trade secret, but it works for me, and you can have it, Matthew. Write letters to yourself from your characters in their voice about things they care about money, work, politics, religion, the afterlife, sex, sexuality, the concerns of the novel, the other people in the novel, the world of the novel. And because you're doing it in their voice, you're also honing their relationship with language. And when you're doing that, then they really start to feel real. When they're speaking like them and not like you, then you're really beginning to pin them down. That's systematic. That's sort of how I do brainstorming. Systematic. Works for me. Other writers will give different answers, but if it's helpful to you in your own endeavours, great. Thanks for your question, and good luck in North Prairie.